I'm the music director for Sweeney Todd at TCR. So my responsibility would not only be to help with casting for the show, but also to teach the music to the ensemble and the principals, as well as really try and get the best possible vocal performance out of the performers as possible. The thing that I love the most about working on a show, any show really, and Sweeney Todd in particular, is the challenge of bringing people together, making a cohesive ensemble. And not only that, but I really feel like every performer should walk away from this experience a better performer than they were when they walked in. Both Leslie and I have this education mindset, and anyone who thinks they know everything about performing is fooling themselves. You know, even I, as a performer, don't know everything about performing. But I know enough to be able to maybe impart some of that to a cast and say, you know what, let's try it this way. Let's start with the story. What's the emotion behind a song that you're singing? So many people come into shows, and this is true from elementary school to, you know, senior citizens, and all they see is notes on a page and words. And there's so much more behind it. And so we both really feel like delving into what's behind those words, what's behind those notes, is a way of really educating people on how to bring an emotion across to an audience and have an audience affected, which is really the point, you know, by the story. So this is the first time that I've done Sweeney Todd. I've never actually seen it on stage, so it's kind of exciting for me. Love the show, love the original Broadway show, love the revival show, so I'm really excited about it. You have to do some research to prepare for working on a show like Sweeney Todd. I've done a lot of research of the productions that I've talked about, the Broadway version, the revival, but also getting really familiar with the script, really familiar with the book, trying to find out how Stephen Sondheim really works. Sondheim shows are tough, they're kind of math-based, and they're not the easiest thing to perform as a vocalist or as an actor. So Leslie and I both start from the point of, this is the story of the show, now how can we grow it and make it not only something that people understand, but also something that makes the performers learn something great about performing out of it. The most challenging part of, well, Sweeney Todd in general, is Stephen Sondheim. If I could sit down and pick his brain, I would love to. People are generally afraid of Sondheim shows because they're really difficult music. I think a similar composer now would be Jason Robert Brown. He does a lot of composing, and his stuff is hard. It's hard vocally, it's hard instrumentally, accompanying-wise, and Sondheim is kind of the same way. You change time signatures on a dime, you change keys on a dime, and people really need to know what their parts are, and as much as we want, the thing about theater is you want people to listen to the other actors. You want to listen to what the person is saying so you can react. In a lot of the music in Sweeney Todd, yes, you need to listen. At the same time, you need to block it out, or you're never going to find what your part is within the chaos of what's happening around you. So that's going to be challenging for the ensemble for sure. The cast is fabulous. You know, we were just talking about how when Leslie and I work together, a lot of times what happens is we'll sit down and have auditions, and we'll cast the show. And not because we mean to, or not because we go into it thinking this way, but we end up having about half the cast that has done things at TCR before, and half the cast that has never done anything at TCR before. So it's great because we have, it's exactly 50% in this show. So we have half the cast who's brand new, and they're just absolutely fantastic. I mean, I absolutely cannot wait to start working with the ensemble and really pull this show together. The great thing about Sweeney Todd is you don't have to have all people who can dance like you would have to for a chorus line, for example. You don't have to have all teenagers like you would have to for Grease, you know. So you can have all body types, all crazy hair types, all anything. Yeah. It's really open to everybody, this kind of show, which is great. Usually the orchestra is a full orchestra for this show. What we decided to do is, instead of, they have a truncated version or an alternate orchestration version, which is smaller. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the concept that we had was to be very, very minimalistic in the beginning. As Sweeney's insanity dives deeper into the depths, we're going to add some interesting instrumentation to it via keyboard or via live instrument, and really make it this chaotic kind of insanity that's going to happen with the orchestration. My favorite song from Sweeney Todd will probably be, I love Epiphany, because I think it's a great kind of a struggle for Sweeney between the one side of him that is bent on revenge and the other side of him that feels such heart for his wife, who he thinks is dead or is gone, and so I love the fight that goes on inside of him for that. Sweeney Todd is just incredible. It's a melodrama on the one hand. People have used it as an operatic piece on another hand. You know, it was a movie not that long ago with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. So I think that it's prime time for TCR to do this show. Not only for the fact that it seems to be on people's minds, having had the movie come out that long ago, but it's going to be unlike anything that TCR has ever done before. And the darkness that's behind this show is really enticing. And to make an audience member leave the show with this shock and awe kind of feel on their faces is going to be great. I can't wait.